What's up, guys? Coach Bailey here, and I'm here with my man Richard from Black Market Nutrition, 2018 Australian Firemans calendar front cover. And I just want to chat to Richard, and we want to share with you some stuff in terms of, hey, what's it like to be super disciplined in terms of the health and fitness space? What does it take? What kind of mentality? What kind of supplements? What nutrition? What's his routine? And we're going to share that with you now. So, Richard, thanks very much for coming along this morning. Beautiful session.
Oh, man, it was a good session, as you could tell. I was still hot and sweaty. It was a massive session, as always.
Man, I know we should stop training together because it's always brutal.
Yeah.
It's pretty full on, but man, that's what I love about, what you do. I love about, our intensity and the way that we train. And look, there's a lot of guys out there, particularly I used to be one of them, overweight and anxiety, depression. And I always wanted to be fit. Yep. And I really looked up to, those guys like you. There was really big guys that had, impeccable bodies. Man crush right now.
I don't know
but, just give me a bit of a rundown in terms of what kind of discipline that takes to actually make it to the cover.
Yeah, okay. So there's a big story behind it and how things go. But for me, it's all about when I have a goal and when I want something to happen, I'll make it happen. And I'll do sort of whatever it takes. And I judge everything bit by bit. It's not about having a set plan and following that set plan. Things change along the way all the time. Whether it's injury, I've had surgery, I live in the physio all the time. I've always got things happening, but you work around it and sort of never forget the main goal. And whatever the main goal is, you just go for it. And in terms of training, I'll make sure that every time I turn up, I'm 100%. That's why I love coming here and training with you.
Yeah.
I love that atmosphere. I walk in the door, you know it's on. You give it your everything and get the most out of every session.
Yeah, awesome, man. And look, I know, just give me a run through in terms of, obviously, I know how disciplined you have to be.
Yeah.
That's one of our big things. Consistency, discipline over time guarantees results. But to make it onto the cover, I know your routine, you told me about it, but just give me everyone a run through in terms of what the hell do you actually have to do and why do you have to be so disciplined?
Yeah, okay. So I do gym work probably 6 days a week. I always do the gym. It's good. I hit my different body parts. That way I can give my body parts time to rest and make sure that I'm not overtraining. That way, if I train 6 days a week, I don't have to do massive sessions. I'm loving at the moment. Last year, when I got onto the cover of the calendar, was when I started F45 hardcore with you. Did a lot of F45 stuff. It was great for that high intensity stuff. I'm a small guy, so I really got to watch how much cardio I do so I don't lose all my muscle mass.
And humble.
And F45 has been a great way to do that, just being able to make sure that my body can keep as much muscle mass as possible while just shredding the weight just with the large amount of calories I can burn each session. And then I make sure that I'm always on with my diet, but I work with what my body wants. So I have a strict diet. I know exactly what I want to eat. I have a strict supplement intake, but when I do a big session with you and you put me into the ground like today and I'm hurting, if I go home, my body needs more food, I give it more food.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it needs that for recovery.
Yeah, for sure. And, we talk about, obviously, fueling right is important.
Absolutely.
It's not just about calories in, calories out, but the big thing for us is, we fuel right. Just give us a run through. There's a lot of people that, we're trying to educate and give people knowledge in terms of how do we actually get the right food? What does it actually take to make a change, and how do you be super disciplined? So your kind of food routine, most people, we're struggling. Like, it's a big thing where we struggle. The training is a big thing. But what, on a daily basis, if we could say one thing that could give somebody the best tip on the planet to get super disciplined today, what would you say that's easy for them to start off with?
Variety through meal prep is number one. I see all these guys do these big meal preps where they do 28 containers of chicken, broccoli, and sweet potato. And that's awesome. Don't get me wrong. That's great, guys. After about 4 or 5 meals, I want to bin that. So for me, I sit at home and I might make a whole heap of mince and veggies. And then I might make a whole heap of chicken, sweet potato, and a bit of broccoli, or I might make some steak and some salad, things like that. I'll make a whole heap of them. And that way I know that I've got my set meals ready to go, and I know I'm hungry. I know I've got food there. I'm not looking for bad food because I know I've got good food there.
And you've got that variety, keeps you interested.
Absolutely. And too much of one food sets you straight off track straight away. You go, I'm sick of eating the same food, I'm over it.
Perfect.
And that's a really big mistake. I say keep consistency through variety and preparation.
Yeah, awesome. And we talk about, we're always fueling. One of the big things things that I've had to learn over time as well through my transformation is how little food and how crap food I was eating. And then that was a big change because they don't really talk to us about that in school. And in most of the time, like I grew up eating freaking McDonald's, you know, big Mickey D's plug. But look, we don't do that anymore. But the main thing is just, you know, the food that we use is information. That information is what gets sent down to the cells. And then basically in terms of how we utilize that fuel in terms of performing on every single day. So that's going to essentially form or break down in terms of making new cells. And that information is key. So food is information, food is a story for us. And we know the importance of that. So fueling wise, look, at the end of our sessions, look, you've got to do your own due diligence in what you can take and what you need to have. So we're not going to essentially say, go and take this, but look, this is what we use. Just give us a run through in terms of pre, post, and anything else that you're using.
Okay. So at the moment, my pre is pretty well, as I'm leading into, I'm probably about 12 to 16 weeks out from the calendar. 2018 shoot for the 2019 calendar. So now I start sort of taking my carnitine pre-training. The whole idea of the carnitine is it mobilizes fat that's stored in your body to be used as your main fuel source. So I want to burn as much fat as possible. During my training, I always take a BCAA and a bit of an electrolyte. The electrolyte helps replace the sweat and stuff that I'm losing, and the BCAA helps to make sure that I don't break down my muscle during my training. As I said before, small guy, I need to maintain. Doing these hard sessions with you, got to preserve muscle mass. And then post-training, I keep a really clean WPI. So obviously I take Black Market Nutrition everything. It's my company, I run along with that. But do your due diligence out there, see what you want. There's vegan options, dairy options, plant-based, whatever you want, paleo options, there's that out there. And find something that works for you. Really work hard with that. But for me, it's keep it clean. Black Market Nutrition I stay with, 100% natural, there's nothing in it. Find something that's clean, find something that works for you, and stick with it, and your body will react.
Absolutely. And look, we're big fans of obviously getting it from natural sources first. And we talk a lot, it's not like, hey, get to the shake. But for us, the ability to get it into our body now. Why is that important for us?
So it's really big. Like food can take up to, like you can get all the protein and stuff you need for your body through food. That's great, but it can take up to an hour to an hour and a half to get that into your body. After a workout, you've got about a 20-25 minute window up to half an hour where you need that fuel inside your body. Protein shake gets in within 15 to 20 minutes. So it gets in, starts repairing those muscles, repairing those cells, allowing you to recover straight away. Takes away that soreness after training. That's why a shake can't be beaten. That's why they're invented. That's why they're the king of everything. The shake post-training is a must, and as soon as possible, straight into the body.
Absolutely. And look, that's been one of the big things for us, and using that fuel right post or pre and post in terms of how we actually are able to back up our training. You know, we've got a good recovery routine. We're always foam rolling, stretching, doing a lot of mobility work, but the ability to get that into our body straight away for muscle repair, muscle recovery helps us back up faster the next day, and we can get, 4 or 5 sessions in through the week, and we're pretty good.
Absolutely. And if you want to keep turning up and work and get your maximum that next day, you've got to give your body that time to recover, and you've got to give it all the fuel it needs. Without that, your body just won't be able to keep turning up and pushing it to the limits that we push it.
Oh, absolutely. And look, some of the big misconceptions here as well, because as I said, a lot of you guys, I'll admit here, I remember a time I was overweight, 92 kilos. I haven't told you this story, but I remember I got an email on the internet and it said, hey, do you want to get 6-pack abs? You will be shredded. This was like years ago, right? I'm like, Mr. Marshmallow Man, I wanted to make a change. And I was just like, holy crap, there's Thor. He took that tablet. I'm going to order that. And I don't even think I even got it. But I was just like, that's how bad I wanted to change. I was going to do anything. And if I have a look at what we did now, I realize that there is actually no pill.
No.
There is no magic pill. There is nothing on the internet essentially that I'm going to find in an email that says, hey, if you take this, you're going to get shredded. What we know is what is actually going to work. It's free, is move well, move often, eat well, eat often, and fuel right. And it's consistency, discipline over time.
That's right.
And so I know for you, like I said, the big thing is why we wanted to chat with Richard is because you can't get to the cover of the Australian Firemans calendar if you're lazy. You cannot get there if you're not at the elite. And Richard is day in, day out, we're training, we're pushing us to the absolute limit.
Every time.
And that's what I wanted to be really honest with you guys. The fact that, if I lost 22 kilos and Richard's done phenomenal in terms of health and fitness for a long time, and he's at the peak top of his game, there's no magic pill. So what would you say, final take home notes, someone wants to lose weight, someone wants just to be better.
Yep.
What would you say, what should they do right now, and how can they start taking that action?
First thing I do is find a bit of exercise that works for you. If that's walking around the block, it's walking around the block. If it's going and playing footy, it's going and playing footy. If it's coming in to the gym or an F45, do whatever works for you. Find something you enjoy. Once you get into that, exercise doesn't become a chore, it becomes fun. And once you do that, you get addicted.
Yeah,
once you start seeing those little results, use that as your springboard to keep going. And just, as I said, get your preparation right, get a bit of variety, but most importantly, find something that's fun. If you can exercise with people, it's always better. That's why I love the F45 setup, training in a team, training with people like you. It really pushes you right to the limit and really motivates you to keep coming back.
Yeah, awesome, man. Look, hey, we're going to keep bringing you more stuff. If you need to check out Richard, obviously go out and support the Australian Fireman's calendar, but how can they check you out? Where can they come and see you?
They can see me, I got my Instagram at Richard Mclusky _ at Black Market Nutrition Instagram and on Facebook. And we're always doing stuff. We've got a TV show appearance coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, nice.
That'll be a bit interesting on Hughesy's TV show. So we'll see all that. I'm popping up places everywhere. I'm always doing stuff with the calendar, always doing stuff with Black Market and stuff with you and F45.
Awesome. And look, if you ever want to come train with us, we're always training here, usually around 6:30 at F45 Training Wynnum. You will see Richard around a lot of different studios, a lot of different gyms. He's training a lot and he's trying to promote a nice kind of healthy message and clean. And that's what's really important. So I hope you guys will check us out. Go and check out Richard. Hey, if we can help, send us some comments, send us a message, anything that we can do to help. But remember, you want to get out there, you want to be better. It starts with your goals. It starts with consistency, discipline, over time, guarantees results, and there is no magic pill. So thanks very much, guys. Get at it today. Make sure you check Richard out. And if you ever want to come train with us, send us a message and we'll get you guys becoming more. All right. Thanks very much, man.
No worries, man.
Always
Thanks
good. When's our next session?
Oh, mate, it's going to take me a little while to
recover.
Take
another week to recover. All right, thanks, guys, and then we'll see you guys soon. All right, back yourselves, and let's do this.